Hey everybody, this is Allie. Welcome back to my channel, Color Mama 360. It is time for another video, so grab a drink and good morning, good night, good middle of the night, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching. It's time for my favorite video to film and probably most people's favorite video to watch. It's February completed pages time. So I'm excited to have you all here, and we are going to be jumping into my completed pages soon. But I wanted to update you on a couple of things before we do that. So if you are new to my channel, I typically make plans videos for the month and then completed pages videos as well. And then of course videos in between. But those two are pretty consistent so far since starting the channel. And one thing that I noticed was I always kind of wanted to, I'm not sure what the right word is, like update you guys on like how I actually did on my plans, because I sometimes I make a whole bunch of plans and sometimes I really veer off course with my plans. And so for myself, because a lot of these videos are just that, for myself as well as for those in the community that want to watch, I wanted to kind of do something that was more in line with checking in to see how I did with my plans, to see if those plans videos are still helpful and useful to me as a colorist. So in my completed pages video, I'm going to do a little bit more of an update moving forward so that I can check in with myself. And if you're curious, you can see kind of how I did for the month on what plans I made, what plans I stuck to, that sort of a thing. So we're going to start with that today. This is my February plans list. So as you can see, there's quite a few check marks. I did even get to some of the extra stuff that I wasn't sure that I was going to. So let's just do a quick recap. So I did do a page in Summer Nights. That's a project book that I'm doing on the channel. I did do my page in Tiny Year. That's also a project book that I'm doing on the channel. I had a budded color scheduled in Winter Wonder, and I did start that one last month. I asked to bring it over to this month, and luckily my buddy understood that I decided I'm going to cancel this one for now. I just wasn't feeling inspired by this page anymore. I wasn't sure how to come back to it, which was strange because I really liked the page. I even liked the direction I was taking it, but I just didn't know how to come back to it for some reason. So that one I did not get to, and my buddy actually mentioned that she was feeling the same, just wasn't sure where to go with the page, and so I really appreciated her understanding that. Just going to cancel that one for now, and hopefully we can buddy on something different in the future. And then I did do a page in Little Folk. It ended up not being this page, and I'll talk a little bit more about why when I get to that one, but I did do a page in Little Folk. I did do a page in Wondrous Folk, which was a buddy color, but that's also an unofficial project book for me. I did do my page in Botanicum, which was a buddy color. I got my 2 pages done for Capybara Cuties, which I was aiming for 3 because I am still catching up, but I think it's still a win that I got the 2 pages done that we do every month. So I did do those. I also did this giraffe page in Rita Berman's Africa book. That was also a buddy color. And then I did my 2 pages from 26 books to complete. So if you've been following along with that part of my plans, you'll know that I randomly choose 2 numbers from a cup every month that correspond with 26 pages or books I would like to color in 2026. And that video with those pages is back from December, I believe. So this fairies and magic Christmas page have been picked twice in a row now. It got picked in January. I wasn't sure I would want to do it in January. I just got done doing Christmas. And then it got picked in February again. I did not complete that page. And what I've decided to do is just cheat a little bit. And I'm pre-scheduling that page for Christmas in July. So I'm just realizing more and more that I am a little bit more of a seasonal colorist when it comes to what I want to color when, and I am just having a really hard time coloring a Christmas page at this time of the year. So I am pre-scheduling that page for July because I still would like to get it done. And then I did do 2 other pages. And actually, I technically did 3 other pages from this list because another page on my plans ended up being on that list and I didn't realize it. So I did complete a page in Flower Year and Hidden Earth. And then the third book is Color Me Capybaras. I had a whip that I finished from that book. And I forgot that Color Me Capybaras was also on my 26 books slash pages list. So I am still very much on track, even though I'm really picking more like 2 pages a month. There are quite a few months that I need to do 3, so it's great that I actually did do 3 books from that list and got those crossed off. I also did a page from Dark Fairy Tales, which is a group that I participated in. I didn't post my page in the group. I wasn't super happy with how it turned out, but that was why I did that page, was because that's the page that the group was doing. I had a whip in Magical Jungle, which you will see along with my whip in Winter Wonder, and I just didn't get back to that one. I didn't really prioritize it. It was more of just kind of a palette cleanser page, and I didn't really utilize it this month. So I did do a page in Princess Kawaii, which is a book I'm trying to finish this year. I did the Elsa page. I also did a book in Magic Mouse, which is another book I'm trying to finish this year. And then 2 pages that I had marked as kind of like extra pages were the B page in Flights of Fancy. So I did get that done. And then I also got RJ Hampson's TLC page that he released for the Coloring for Cancer hashtag hosted by Joe over at Piggy Pens. And then I also finished a couple other random pages that aren't on my plans list. And so there's some surprises sprinkled in as well. Jumping over to kind of stats. So this month I colored 21 pages. You can see I've scribbled some stuff out. 1, because I counted first the wrong time. And then 2, because I actually was able to finish some pages after marking that. So I colored 21 pages total in 19 books. Only 6 of those books were uncolored, which these numbers really surprised me because I was shocked that I colored in 19 different books, that only 6 of them were uncolored. But that's okay. It's still 6 uncolored books. So I did 5 buddy colors, which was also kind of shocking. I was surprised by that. I did not think that I had done that many buddy colors. And then I did 3 prompts and challenges. And the prompts and challenges I participated in this month were February, February, and Light versus Dark, which was Love versus Hate this month. So excited to do those and show you what I got done for those. And then I also released 10 videos this month, which is awesome for me. I think I say every single month, I'm just not sure how things are going to go. Things are getting busier and my time really, really fluctuates. But I was able to put out 2 more videos than I had planned originally this month as well. So I'm really happy about that. So, all right. Well, I think it's time to get into the finished pages, but that was just a little update on my plans. I've already even got a few completed pages in this video that correlate with my March plans, just because I just kind of was done with these plans and wanted to get started on March because I have a lot planned, and so I'm already have a head start on March plans as well. So I'm hoping that March is another successful coloring month. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start with the whips. So these are whips that you will not be seeing again for probably at least March, and so that's why I'm showing them to you. Any whips that I completed or started during February that I am planning on coming back to in March, I just show you in my March plans video, because I also, which I don't think there's any right now, I can't remember, but feel free to go over and check out my March plans video if you want to see what I'm planning to do in March. But this is the page that I had planned with my buddy, Mari. I'll put her name on the screen. And yeah, we both didn't end up getting the page done. Like I said, I really liked the direction I was going, but then I just haven't felt inspired to come back. So I'm hoping that once I put it away for a little while, I'll want to come back to it. It's not super wintry. I mean, you could make it more wintry than it is, but it's not super wintry besides kind of this, which really, I don't even know if this is supposed to be snow. That's how I was coloring it, but it could also be frosting. So, because you have the candles up here. Anyways, I'm hoping at some point I will come back to this, and this page has been added kind of unfortunately to the master whip list that I keep. The other whip I mentioned is in Magical Jungle. And it's this page. Like I said, I was kind of just using this as sort of a palette cleanser. It's kind of a mandala page. So I was just, felt like using my Prismacolor pencils and came in to do the greens. And I can't remember if I finished up the greens this month or if that was last month and I didn't do anything on it during this month. But my idea was, I think my color palette has some oranges and yellows next. So that would be what I would come in with next. I'm going to take a drink. Sorry, guys. So that is my page from Magical Jungle by Johanna Basford. And there is always the chance that I may come back to this one even in March, but I don't have it on my plans list, so that's why I'm showing it to you. All right, let's move on to my project book. So first is my group buddy color book, Capybara Cuties. This group has grown quite a bit. I will try to post everybody's name on the screen. I'm still not sure what the best format of showing everybody's pages is. So if you have a preferred format, like you want to see it after with music or you want to see it on the screen after I show you mine, let me know. But this is the first page that we did this month with the capybaras. I really like my gray capybaras. I don't know that I've done this gray color yet. And so I really, really like the way that that turned out. I did unfortunately kind of mess up on the shading of the alligator or crocodile, whichever one it is. And so I tried to erase it, but it didn't really work very well. But everything else I think turned out really well. I like the shading on the turtle, the duck, the leaves, the bunny. So yeah, overall I like this page and I like the color palette and the colors that I chose for it as well. So I will show you everybody else's page now. And then this is the second page that we did. And this one was picked in honor of Jess from Coloring Bumblebee's birthday. So that's why I picked the purple. I couldn't remember for sure if she said her favorite color was purple, but I was just like, well, hopefully she likes purple either way. So I went with the purple balloons. My marker was running out on the cappies, so they're a little streaky. And then the silver is the silver Signo. There we go. Silver Signo gel pen to cover up kind of the black lines and stuff. I think I could have done the stars a little bit differently, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm happy with these pages. They're not like my absolute favorite from the whole month, but I am happy with these pages and excited to have more color in this book. This book is definitely filling up and hopefully I can get a little bit more caught up as well. So that's Capybara Cuties by Rob Parkinson. Have Summer Nights, which is just my personal project book, one of them on my channel. And the page that I did was this bird page, and this was actually a buddy color with Cindy. I'll put her Instagram on the screen as well. But yeah, this is the page. Now, looking at it right now, again, it's not my favorite page ever, but I don't dislike it as much as I kind of feel like I did while I was working on it. It just wasn't going the way that I wanted. I tried masking everything and then doing distress ink, but I couldn't really get the masking fluid on the way that I wanted. So it covered up some areas like around the leaves instead of just on the leaves. So you can see some of the white spots around the leaves that I had difficulty getting to. And I was going for a much, much darker blue for the background, like closer to black. I wanted it to kind of have like a midnight garden feel, and that just, yeah, that didn't happen. So I tried really hard to get it as dark as I could, but it just didn't really get to where I want. And then I don't think I based the flowers or the stems with anything. I think I just did straight Prismacolor pencil, I'm pretty sure. Prismacolor pencil on the bird. I did work on this page in, I believe it may have been my morning routine video. If I remember, I'll try to link that in the iCards, but that just went through my morning routine from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. and showed kind of how much coloring I get done and what I like to work on and that sort of a thing. So I believe I finished this page up. I do like the way that the bees turned out, but then again, masking them, they were so small that I just kind of did circles over them. So then that left these like kind of weird white circles. Um, but overall, it's okay. I don't think it's my favorite page, but it's not my least favorite page that I've ever done either. So oh, I will put Cindy's page right here. Almost forgot. And I love the way that Cindy's page contrasts with mine. Contrasts. Yeah, there we go. Contrasts with mine. Because she did really bright colors, almost like closer to pastel type colors. And then mine is very dark, because I was going for more of that midnight garden vibe. So that's probably one of my favorite things with buddy colors is when the two pages contrast. Like they're very opposites from each other. I think that is so cool to see. So thank you, Cindy, for buddy coloring with me. I really, really appreciate it. And you helped me get another page done in my project book. And I can't wait to buddy again with you in the future. So again, that is my page from Summer Nights by Hannah Carlzon. Another project book for me this year is Tinier, and I'm just going through and doing the shelf pages. So up next was the February shelf, and I actually really like the way that this one turned out. I don't remember liking it too much when I first finished it, but I do really like it looking back on it. I like the color palette that I went with. Um, wasn't really like those super bright reds and pinks that I think are normally associated with Valentine's Day, but it's still very much in that realm. I really like that I did that kind of purplish color as well. Um, and then, so I based everything with Ohuhu alcohol markers, and then I did come back in with Prismacolor pencils, all the silver. So you can kind of see like this is outlined, the tape. That's all silver signo, the ring. I think I remember what it was that I didn't like about this page when I did finish it. It was this cake. I wish that I would have just done this cake and even these the same brown. I always worry that there's going to be too much of like one color combination on a page, but I think that it would have looked better. I think the reason I didn't do it for these was because they're so tiny that I just came in and did this with a gel pen because it was so small. There was just no way unless I sharpen my Prismacolors to the tippiest point, and then they're just going to break anyway. So I think that's why. But if I could have found even kind of maybe a lighter color or even if I left this the way that it is and just did this cake more of this brownish color, I think that would have turned out better. I really struggled with getting the cake the way that I wanted. I had to go over it several times to finally get it to look somewhat cohesive, and it does still stick out a little bit. So that's what it was, I think, that I didn't like about this page. But looking back at it now, I don't think that it looks too bad altogether. So next, I'll be doing the March page. So just continuing on with the shelves. And I am enjoying these pages. I kind of forget about them. But then when I start thinking like, oh, I feel like using markers or something, I remember that I can come in and base my page for the month in here. And so that's really helpful. There's also some jelly roll on some of the black lines as well, like of the flowers. I think I mentioned that, but yeah, so another page done in Tinier. This is the Coloring Heaven, but with designs by Agoda Pop. And then next we have my unofficial project book, which is really just an official project book, but I didn't have it when I made my project books prospects video, so that's why it's kind of been an unofficial project book. It's Wondrous Folk by Christine Caron, and this is the page that I completed. And this is actually the page that I worked on during the 24-hour tubeathon for coloring for cancer. And it's also a buddy color. So I really, really, really like the way that this page turned out. I used chalk pastel for the background, and I did the border with washi tape, and I did have a little bit of um, peeling over here, like it peeled the paper. But I thought, oh, and right here, I thought those were just kind of a one-off, like maybe I pulled too hard. You will hear about later how that is not the case. But back to this page, I do really like the way that this page turned out. I think this is probably some of the better skin that I've done. But I'm still definitely learning, which is part of the reason why I wanted this to be a project book on the channel, is because I want to color skin every single month so that I can continue to get better and better at that. And I do kind of think that I'm progressing. I don't know if I have any. So yeah, you can see this was from back in December. So to me, I think the skin looks a lot better in this page, but I'm not sure. Anyways, for me, I feel like I'm progressing, and that's what's important. Um, I decided to go with kind of the reds. I was worried because I could tell these were supposed to be kind of sheer, but even with them being red, to me, they are still red sheer. You can still see her arm in here. So I could have gone a little bit lighter maybe, but honestly, I don't think I would have. I like the way that it turned out. All of the gold is gold Signo. Um, and then I did struggle a little bit with this part of the bandana that's coming down. Again, it was clear that it was supposed to be sheer. I originally started coloring it the same and then realized that that was not what probably how it was supposed to be intended to do. So if I could go back, what I would do is do the background color through the sheer and then maybe just add a little bit of orange tint so that it looked orange but sheer at the same time, and then you're kind of seeing the background through it. So that is one thing that I would do differently, but I really like the way that this page turned out. I'm super happy with it. It's probably one of my favorite pages that I've done so far in the book. And I did this page as a buddy with Christina. I think it's Christina. I will put her page here as well as her Instagram handle up on the screen. And again, I love the way that our pages contrast. So hers was way lighter colors, softer colors, cooler colors, however you want to look at it. And then mine was more warm, bold kind of colors. So I think that these two especially look so, so cool next to each other. She always does a really fantastic job. I was a little intimidated because I knew that she was really going to do this page justice. And um, of course, she did. So, as always, she's really, really, really amazing colorist. So I'm so honored to have done a buddy with her, and I look forward to budding with you again in the future. So that is my page from Wondrous Folk by Christine Caron. Now going to my books to complete. So one of the books I'm trying to complete this year is the Princess Kawaii Mega Pact by Kevin Teo Art. And this is the page I did, the Elsa page. We are very Elsa happy in this house right now, just Frozen happy in general. So this was the perfect page. I also took one of my kids to see Frozen live this month, which was just a really, really, really cool experience. So this page was definitely perfect for this month. And I used this page for the light versus dark hashtag for love. So, because you have the hearts in the background, as well as one of the quotes from the movie is only an act of true love can unfreeze a frozen heart or something like that. And it's kind of all about the love that she has for her sister. So I thought that that was kind of unique. I didn't go with like romantic love. I decided to go with the love that Elsa feels for her sister Anna. And yeah, so I thought that that was really fun. I did the background again with soft pastel. I like the way that the background turned out. I'm not too happy with the hearts. I think that I could have done them differently. I'm not sure how, but just differently. I think I used super golden marker for those, and maybe that's why. It's because the ones that I have, the nibs are really big. I really wish I would have gotten ones with a smaller nib, and so it was just kind of hard to stay like in the lines in some parts and stuff like that, but it's fine. And then everything else was done with alcohol marker, some, I think this is silver Ohuhu glitter marker. So I decided not to go back in with pencils this month, which is what I've done on these pages in the past. I just kind of liked the way that the alcohol marker looked. Yeah. So it was almost straight alcohol marker coloring too. There was very little blending, like a little bit of color differentiation on the eyes. Same with Olaf. I think I did do two different colors, yeah, on the hair, but you can't really tell. And then the dress, I can't remember, kind of just looks all one color to me, besides obviously this is two different colors. But anyways, I really like the way that it turned out, especially for just being, kind of a all alcohol marker page, or mostly alcohol marker page, besides some of the little detailing things. And I'm excited to do my next one. So this book is coming along great. I think there's 14 pages in the book total. So I've only done 2 so far. I will need to do some months where I do 2 a month, or even 3 a month if I want to kind of get ahead. So we'll see how things go. But right now I think progressing along well, because I've done 2 pages so far out of 14. So next is my other book to complete. It's Matchstick Mouse, a Pumpkin Party coloring book. And the page I did this month is this one of Matchstick Mouse carving the pumpkin. Yeah, happy with the way that this one turned out as well. Decided to go with the same effect that I did for on the mouse that I did last month. So based everything with the Ohuhu markers, but then went back over the fur lines of Matchstick Mouse with an acrylic marker and white Signo. Let me take a drink real fast. Did some Prismacolor shading on the hat, the pumpkin, the leaves, the wood, the map, the worm, a tiny little bit on the ground, but not too much. And then I just left the greenery in the background and the blue sky, just plain alcohol marker. So again, I really need to, this one I definitely need to probably start doing 2 pages a month, if not more. So I do have 2 pages planned for March, but I need to step it up a little bit more in this book to get it completed, especially because I really would like to have it completed by October versus end of December. So I lose a couple months there as well. Okay, now getting into the rest of my pages for the month. So starting with just this one because it is a PDF. This is the RJ Hampson TLC page that he designed and released for Coloring for Cancer, which was hosted by Joe at Picky Pens. And this was on kind of my extras list. I wasn't sure if I would get to it or not this month, but I ended up getting to it this last weekend, and I absolutely love the way that it turned out. I was kind of inspired by all the other pages that I've seen as far as the colors go. I'd seen some in like these pastel colors, and I'd seen some with purples, and then all pink, which was done by Karen over at My Colorful Country Life. And so I tried to look up a color palette. I knew I wanted to do a moon and kind of a night sky. And so I looked up a color palette that was kind of all those colors, like pastels, pink, purple. And it gave me this color palette that I found on Pinterest. If I still have it on my phone, I'll put it up on the screen, but I don't think that it's still on my phone. But the color palette was something about like lavender lemonade or something like that. And it was kind of all of these colors. And so I really liked that. I thought that that looked really good. Um, I did a washi tape background to kind of frame the illustration. And then this background of the wall, I'm really proud of because it is alcohol marker. And I really have a hard time sometimes making my alcohol markers look smooth. As you can see on the ground, it's definitely a lot streakier, but like the background just turned out so smooth. And so I'm so happy with the way that that worked. I must not have stopped or something because it just, yeah, it looks so smooth, which I've struggled with in the past. And then I was planning on just kind of basing everything with alcohol marker, and the more I started to get done and base, the more I was really liking the way that alcohol markers worked on this paper. And this is the Nina cardstock, I believe. But I was really liking the way that the alcohol markers worked on this paper and the way that it was looking, that I just decided to do an all alcohol marker page. And I've done all alcohol marker pages in the past. Like I said on the Elsa page, that one was also alcohol marker. But definitely like that one was a grayscale. This one was not. This is probably what I would consider my most successful page so far. That is just alcohol markers with no grayscale. I'm really happy with it. And yeah, it's not much, but I tried to do like a lighting effect here, which I've never done before. Like I said, I got the background wall really smooth. I tried to do some shading, not a ton, but just like a little bit to add a little bit of depth. I really like the way the balloons look and the moon I drew in. So overall, I'm just really happy with this page, and I'm so happy that I'm happy with it too, because I think it was such a great um, initiative that Joe brought up, as well as such a great contribution by RJ to design this page just for that initiative, that now I can look back and remember how fun of a month it's been, while also really loving this page that I completed, which is very special for this month. So um, I don't have like a huge following or anything like that, so I couldn't contribute really in the way of like lives or anything like that, but I tried to go to everybody's and um, participate in other ways where I could. And I just think that it was a really great month and a really meaningful month as well. So I'm so glad that I have a page that I love to go back and remember coloring for cancer in 2026. So. Okay, moving on, I have Alien Worlds. Now, this was actually on my plans for March, but I got it done yesterday. So, the page that I did is this book belongs to page. And I decided to go with kind of like a bluish, silverish inside of my spaceship. I knew it would probably be some sort of like metal looking type page, but yeah, this is how it turned out. And the lightest color is a really, really light blue, like really, really light blue. Um, like I can definitely tell it's blue, but looking on camera, it even looks less blue than in person. So one thing I haven't done that I might still go back and do is I was gonna maybe add some more stars, but I don't know if that would just make the page look too cluttered. So maybe I'll just leave it as it is. But this was a really quick page. And I just did it all with Prismacolor pencils. What I should have probably done is based it and then gone over with Prismacolor pencils. It would have made it even quicker, but it was still a quick page nonetheless. You really just have, a few elements here. The shading is already put in for you, so I really enjoyed doing this page. It was just quick and got me started in this book, which I know is going to be a harder book for me to color in. And I keep saying I'll talk more about why I finally decided to get this book in my haul video. But I know I want to color in this book, but I also know it's going to be a hard book for me to get to. So I'm glad that I at least have a page that I enjoyed doing. I like the way that it turned out because that will encourage me to come back to it soon. So that's Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosannes. Next is Flights of Fancy by Camellia Dereco. Pretty sure that's how you say it. I think it was Jess talking about how you're supposed to actually say it, and I'm probably still not saying it right, but oh no, these really stuck. Okay, there we go. So this is the page that I completed, and this was kind of on my extras list. And so I decided to turn it into a double page spread, but these pages go pretty quick for me. Sometimes that makes me wonder if I'm doing something wrong, but there is no wrong, right? So I did the background with soft pastel, and then the bees with Albert Durr watercolor pencils, and I just activated them with water and then left it. Didn't go back over it again with them dry or anything. And then I tried to outline the hearts with acrylic marker, and my acrylic markers they're just not covering those black lines. I mean, this was several coats, and you can still see the black lines. So I think if I were to do this differently, I don't know, I definitely think I would do something different for sure. Because the only thing I don't really love about this page is the background. I think that it's fine, but I don't love it, and I think that I could have done a better job and done some things differently, especially with the acrylic marker. I don't think I would have wanted to just leave them though either, like just filled in with the soft pastel, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that would have been better. And then I did also add, kind of see it on the camera right here, especially some Imagine Craft shimmer spray. And I tried something a little bit different rather than just spray it straight onto the page. I've talked before about how I'll spray it into the cap and then apply it to certain areas with a brush, which maybe I should have done that for the wings. That would have been cool. But what I actually did this time was sprayed it in the cap, got a brush, and then I did a technique that I saw Elm Colors, Erica over at Elm Colors do. She was doing it with, I don't know, maybe acrylic paint or something, but where you just kind of take the brush and tap it over the page so it gives kind of a little bit of a splotchy effect. So that's what I did on this page. So there is some sparkle. It's just kind of splotched onto there, which was the effect that I was going for. So yeah, overall, I like this page. I am a little disappointed in the way that the hearts turned out. I wish that I would have just done something different because the acrylic marker was just not the way to go. And I think that I would have loved this page even more. I kind of saw it as a double page because like this is the Cupid bee and then he's hitting these bees with the arrow. So they just went together for me, and so that's why I decided to turn it into more of a double. I am going to, well, let's see. I don't know if maybe it needs a piece of paper in between. Maybe I just had closed it too soon yesterday, but that's Flights of Fancy by Camellia D'Areco. Like, I feel like the soft pastel just got everywhere. I mean, look, it's all over that page. It's all over this page. I usually don't have that issue. I'm usually not so messy, but that's okay. It's okay. Next up, I have Lulu's House of Wonder. Wow, this is going to be a really long video, guys. Sorry, I will talk a little bit faster. I just looked at the time. And I just did the title page. So I decided to go in and do Lulu and then write down my colors so that I can use them throughout the book. But yeah, especially mostly the hair. And then I also think I wrote down, yeah, the skin colors too. But those were the two main things that I'll try to keep consistent throughout the book. I didn't write them down for this page, and so luckily I found pretty close. But the skin does look a little bit different. I think because I just did the skin on that one with Ohuhus, and this one I came back in with pencil. So just did that quick little title page. I do have a whip in here that I'll be working on in March as well. So this book will be staying out. Lulu's House of Wonder by Lulu Mayo. Next, I did a page from Happy Day Coloring Postcards, and I picked this page out during my coloring slump video. So if you haven't watched that, again, I'll try to remember to link these in the iCards, but if I don't, they should be pretty easy to find on my channel. But I was flipping through my books and found this one. And I meant to give this to my husband for Valentine's Day and completely forgot. So he still has no idea that it exists. And I think because Valentine's Day has already passed and gone, rather than take it out of the postcard book, I'm just going to leave it in. So I outlined most of the black lines with Jelly Roll, and it's a sparkly one, which is what I'm trying to show you. And then I based everything with Ohuhu alcohol markers, went over the top with Prismacolor pencils, and then all of the silver is Silver Signo. So outlined all of the little letters and stuff with that. And I really like the way that this turned out. I really especially like the blue on the flowers. I hope I could remember what color combination that was because I think that that turned out really well. Same with the frog. I like the way that he turned out. I think it looks really cohesive. The only thing I would do differently is probably do a background. I saw somebody do a background for this page and it looked really, really, really great. So that is my page from Happy Day Coloring Postcards, and that's by Emily Lederhall Oberg. Don't know if I said that. Next is Circle of Life by Malcolmani Chatspenigatu. And I'm really happy that I got this one done because this was a long-term whip. This one I also kind of picked out when I was in that making that coloring slump video. And this one had been a whip for quite a while, and I decided to come back in and finish it. And I'm very, very happy that I did because I like this book, but for whatever reason, I just had the hardest time coming back and finishing this page. I do still have one more whip in this book. It would be nice to finish that one before starting any new ones, but we'll see. So it's Prismacolor pencil, and then kind of why I was holding it up was to try to show you the Ohuhu glitter marker on the bugs. So yeah, and I like the way that this one turned out. I think that it did turn out the way that I envisioned it, over a year ago when I started it. But it was very hard to come back. And I think that's why I was avoiding it was just hard to pick up from where I left off and still make it look cohesive and things like that. So, yeah, I anticipate that being a challenge for future whips as well. But that is my page from Circle of Life by Makamani Chespengettu. Next is Rita Berman's Africa book, and the page that I did is this one, and this was a buddy color as well. I haven't seen my buddy's page, so if she sends it to me before I upload this video, I will make sure to add it in when I'm done talking about mine. But I did mine with Albert Durr pencils. I activated them with water and then went over them dry, but then some of them I activated with water again. So like the water, I left it. I didn't go back over it with dry. And I think the background as well. But everything else was based and then I went over them dry. And I like the way that this one turned out. The water definitely looks like that kind of more watercolor effect. I didn't really think through the way that I wanted to do that. And so I would do it I would still keep it just activated with water, but do it a little bit differently as far as like my technique goes. But I like the background and the way that it kind of gives off this sort of sunset type vibe. And I like the way that all the animals turned out. Especially, I wanted to add some of these background colors back into the foreground. So that's why I did like the flowers and the birds, kind of those more bold colors. So yeah. Again, if my buddy has completed her page, I will put it up next to mine, but I have not seen it yet. So I'm really interested to know if she is able to get it done. If not, totally fine, of course. But if she is able to do it, I'm really interested to see what take she took on the page, because I think there's a lot of different ways that you could do this page. This book looks so small on camera compared to the other books I've been looking in. So that's Rita Berman's Africa book. Next is Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Roseanne. And as I mentioned, I'm in a group on Instagram that colors in this book, and the page that they had chosen for, I think, January and February was this page from Beauty and the Beast. And this page was going really well. I feel like I had a pretty clear vision for it. And oops, sorry, not my camera there. Until I got to the walls. And then I was going for more of like a crimson, kind of like that gothic, crimson, purplish red, and it just didn't turn out that way. It turned out a lot more red than what I was going for, and then things just kind of went downhill from there. I was just really, really done with this page, honestly. And as you can see, I had based this page with Albert Durr's, which is what I did with this page as well, but didn't come back to this page and not even sure that I'm going to keep really the same colors, because I just obviously, like, I have a base, and so that's going to be somewhat the same, but there's definitely some things that I'm going to have to change because I just don't love the way that this one turned out. And yeah, I was so done with the page that I just, like, the castle in the background, I think I just did with Albert Durst and activated them with water. Like, didn't try very hard. It's very streaky, does not look great. Same with the background. So I definitely rushed towards the end because I just wanted to be done with this page. But everything was based with Albert Durst, Prismacolor over the top, except for the castle and the sky. Those were just with Albert Durst and then activated with water. And then some jelly roll, silver signo, and red jelly roll for some of the blood. So yeah, not much else to say about that page. I did post that page on Instagram too, because I just feel like it's important to even share the pages that we're not super happy with. That's Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Roseanne. Next is The Flower Year by Layla Dooley, and this was just a super quick page. It was this painted lady butterfly. I chose this page because I have a really, really hard time coloring in this book. Not because I don't like it, but just because it intimidates me. So when it got picked in my random picks, because it is on my 26 books for 2026 list, I decided to go with just something really simple. I looked up an inspiration picture of a painted lady butterfly and just kind of used that as my inspiration. And this is just Prismacolor pencils with a little bit of, I think, black jelly roll in some areas. especially these really small ones. That is the page that I did from The Flower Year by Layla Dooley. Next is Little Folk by Christine Caron, and I originally had picked out a different page from this book because I have two buddies for this page, but we ended up deciding to do a different page. So the page that we decided to do was this one. And I did talk about how I would mention the washi tape situation because I did think that in Wondrous Folk it was just kind of a one-off, that I probably pulled the washi tape up too quickly, but it's definitely this paper. So I originally had done a border with different washi tape, thicker washi tape, and when I went to take it off, I was extremely careful. I was being extra cautious because I knew I had ripped the paper on the other one, and again it ripped the paper right here. So in an effort to try to cover it up as much as possible, I decided to go and do back in with washi tape to kind of frame the picture. And then that helped kind of solidify the colors that I wanted to do for the rest of the portrait, because I don't have very many washi tapes. So I didn't have very many choices, but it worked out because I think that this yellow also has a little bit of a greenish tint. And so those are the colors that I chose for this one. And I love the way that this one turned out. I keep trying to ignore these two little spots. And like, I also can crop the photo when I take a picture to cut them out. But um, I really like the way that this one turned out. Again, I think that my skin is definitely improving. I used a new color combination that I found for skin on this one. And I like that one better than the ones that I have been using. So yeah, I think that, again, my goal is really to improve how I color skin, and I think that I'm doing okay at that. I can definitely see some progress progress in my own coloring. So that makes me happy. And then I did decide to kind of outline the lines in this one, and I like the effect that that gave. I just outlined them with the Prismacolor, but I really like the kind of the effect that that gave for this one. And then for the rain, again, I just used Prismacolor and a little bit of white gel pen. My white gel pen was running out, so I mostly tried to stick to the Prismacolor. I was a little worried about the water droplets, but I think that they turned out okay as well. So I'm really happy with this page. I don't think I've seen my buddies' pages yet either for this one. So of course, when I get them, I will put them up. But again, I think portraits are another fun one to do for buddies because there's just so many different directions that you can take it. Um, I will be interested to see, because these are leaves. I wonder if my buddies will color them like a greenish color. Mine are more of a greenish blue. So again, even if they did, they're still going to turn out so different, I'm sure, just because there's so many different takes that you can take on different colors and different objects and how you do things and backgrounds. And I'm really excited to see what theirs look like. So Little Folk by Christine Caron. Next was another buddy color from Botanicum. This was one of my untouched books, and it is this one. And when I originally planned to do this page, I was thinking probably Albert Durers, but I received a very generous gift from somebody in my family, and it's the Staedtler pigment ink pens. So they're really interesting. I had not really heard of these before and had no idea how to use them. And so this was a little bit of an experiment page. And there's definitely things that I could do differently next time and will do differently next time. But overall, for it kind of being that experimental page, I think that it turned out really well. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. So yeah, that's all I used on this page, except for in the background, that is Albert Durers. And I think that's the only thing that I would really probably do different for this page is I use kind of that stippling effect where I take the water brush directly to the pencil and then kind of dapple it on. I think I would have just done a washi tape border and then colored it with the Albert Durers and activated it with water, so it was just a smooth instead of the kind of stippling effect. but I wanted to try that effect and see what it was like. And so again, this was a fun kind of experimental page. Um, and I really enjoyed using those Statler pigment pens. I'm interested to use those again in the future, so hopefully there's a page this month. They do not even in the slightest bleed through at all. So yeah, very, very interesting medium that I really don't know a lot of and didn't look up any videos on or anything. I just kind of went for it. So, and then I will put my Buddy's page right here, as well as her Instagram handle. And again, once again, it seems like all my buddies this month, we went for like complete opposites. So I love her white flowers. I think that those turned out amazing. I'd love to do white flowers somewhere else in this book too, just because I was so inspired by her page and the blues and the white and the way that everything went. I liked her color palette. And so I would definitely love to do another page in this book inspired by that color palette because I think that her pages turned out really, really amazing. And again, looking at them side by side, they do contrast again, which is so cool and my favorite part about Buddy Colors. So thank you so much for buddying with me, and I can't wait to buddy again with you in the future. That is my page from Botanicum by Maria Troll. Next is another page from my 26 books for 2026 list. And just a reminder, that list is both just books in general and then certain pages. And this one was a certain page. So it was this double page spread. And it worked out great that this was picked because this worked well for February. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bees on this page. I did the background with Albert Durr. So this one I didn't do that simply. In fact, I did just activate it. This is the first time I've done it that way, and I feel like it turned out well. And then everything else was based with Tombow dual brush pens, which I haven't used in a while. So it was fun to get back into that medium, and then Prismacolors over the top. So I didn't have a super clear color palette for this one, but I knew I wanted a sunflower. So that was kind of the driving for the rest of the page. But yeah, I kind of just chipped away at this one and got it done. So I have been looking at this page and admiring this page for a long time, and it is fun to finally see it done. And it's even better that I enjoy the way that I did it. I really like the way that this page turned out. So that is my page from Rita Berman, Hidden Earth. Next is another page from that 26 books list that I did kind of accidentally, but this was a whip. I just didn't realize that this page was on that list. And it is this one. Oh, sorry. It's Color Me Capybaras by Ella Jarspik. And it's this page. So everything was based with Ohuhu alcohol markers, and then Prismacolor over the top for the flowers, acrylic marker for the fur on the capybara, gold signal for the inside of the flowers and these little things, and then acrylic marker for all the background. This may be probably one of my least favorite pages of the month, but I don't hate it. There's just some stuff that I would do differently, mainly the background. I really debated on going with like a black background or a different color. And I didn't want to have to do like multiple coats with the acrylic marker, but knew I wanted to use acrylic marker. So I ended up choosing this gold, which was part of my color palette already. But I think it just didn't work for the background. I think it would have probably looked good to do a black background. And I guess I could always come back in and do a black background over if I really wanted to, but I probably won't. I'll probably just leave it the way that it is. But I do like the way that the flowers turned out. The capybara, again, I had to like go over several times to color those black fur lines. I think that what I was going for was a decent idea. I just don't think the execution worked super well. So I would probably do something different in the future. It's also a very large capybara, which was the other challenging thing, was like, what mediums do I use? Because he was so streaky with just the alcohol marker, that I really struggled to figure out, like, what should I come back in with now? And the paper isn't anything super great, and so I wasn't sure if I would be limited on how to come in and do that fur. But I'm glad that I got a page done in this book, especially it was a nice surprise to find out that it was on that list. So that is my page from Color Me Capybaras by Ella Darzabek. We're almost at the hour mark, but I do have one last page, and it's another Ella Darzabek page from this new book to me, Color Me Easter for Kids, and it is this one. And this one is, again, based with Ohuhu alcohol markers, Prismacolor over the top. I covered a lot of the black lines, not all, but some of the black lines on the trees, flowers. You can't even tell on the flowers barely, but with some jelly roll, gel pens. The background is the only thing that I would really do differently for this one. I do think that it kind of ruined the page a little bit for me. I still like the overall result, but I definitely would do the background differently. And I think what I would do differently is just leave it as an alcohol marker if I'm able to get it so it's not too streaky. And honestly, it wasn't too streaky, but I had this like idea in my head that I needed to do like a multicolor background, when really if I would have just done a light blue alcohol marker, it would have looked great and a lot better. But what I did was try to do like multicolor, blend the alcohol markers, and it just wasn't working. So then I had to go back over the top with pencil, and yeah, just not super happy with the overall background, but I do like the page in general. So, and I will be doing more in here for March as well. So that's Color Me Easter for Kids by Ella Darzabek. Whew, okay, guys, that was a long video, and those are all of my completed pages for the month of February 2026. I made it through pretty much all of my plans, just a couple that I decided not to do, and even got a head start on some of my plans for March, which this book was also in my March plans, I believe. So good to have a head start there. I will see you next time. And before I forget, because I don't think I said it at the beginning of the video, so for those of you that are still here, hopefully this is a good reminder. I have a Monster March coloring challenge in the month of March. If you participate in that coloring challenge, you are entered to win an Amazon gift card. So I am giving away an Amazon gift card to those that enter and participate in my Monster March coloring challenge. If you haven't watched my announcement video on that, make sure to go watch that, because that has all the details on how to enter, to make sure that you don't miss anything and have the best chance of potentially winning that Amazon gift card. And I don't know what the amount is going to be yet for that gift card. It's going to be a minimum of $10, but most likely it's going to be more than that, because I am funding that gift card with my Fetch points, which is an app that I use to scan receipts, and then I turn the points into gift cards. And so the more points I get this month, the more I'm able to give away in gift cards. And potentially, if I got enough, I could even choose to split it into 2 gift cards, or just keep it as one larger amount gift card. So if you haven't signed up with my code for Fetch yet, it's always in the link of my description. So make sure to go over and use my referral code, because again, the more points I get, the more I'm able to give away for my Monster March challenge.